Hi yogis, hi friends, welcome to our practice. We've got our usual two dogs, and I got my partner David in the background there today too, joining us. Greetings from Fenville, Michigan. It has been raining for hours and hours. It's kind of a coolish, rainy morning. Thought we would call today Fire and Fortitude. So building some fire within, building some deflector shields on the outside, creating this beautiful space for us to be. See if we can warm up our system. Continue growing our community. Every week I do this. More and more people are finding us and spreading around the world. So good for us. So wonderful to have this distant community coming together and joining in the way that we need to at this point. I continue to learn so much. All these new folks I'm coming in contact with and just exploring new ideas and being creative and coming up with new routines, kind of fun. So thought I'd share some of that with you today too. Remind you to always be the beginner's mind. So what does that mean? That means you might have done this practice a million times. Maybe each time we do it, we can pull something new from it. So keep that in mind as we go through practice today. Maybe some new twists to the old standards. Okay, let's go ahead and find a comfortable place to begin. Maybe on the edge of your blanket, on the edge of a block, someplace that feels comfortable for you. We know that when we sit, the idea is that we have a landing pad, we've got a place of comfort, and that when we allow ourselves to sink in, we can feel that there's a slight tilting forward of that pelvis. So if you're sitting on the ground and feeling like your low back is rounding out and your pelvis is posteriorly tilting, sit up on something and you'll see immediately the hips will start to soften and you'll let go of some of the grip. Sit bones as your anchor, your purpose, your place. Remember, we're lightly lowered onto the earth, and as soon as we touch down, you can feel the growth of the spine, the muscles working to help to pull the bones apart against gravitational forces. And maybe the energies through the chakra system, through the bandhas, through whatever system resonates with you or you've studied and feel a connection to that subtle body that we don't see. Close your eyes and see what's happening for you this morning. Settled and relaxed, the mind going. Where's the breath? It's our check-in time. Take a moment, listen to what's being fed back from the periphery to the brain. Tend to what you need to, more just observational, see where we're starting. Feeling that slightly tilted forward pelvis creates the arch in the back. Let's take our hands to the bottom of the rib cage and go ahead and bind in the low ribs. Maybe even bring the fingers together today, interlace the fingers. This is Uddiyana Bandha. This is our thoracic spine. This is our energy containment in our T-spine here. See, as you have this awareness of holding those low ribs in, bring your heart tall now. And as you bring the heart tall, what opens the upper back? Maybe as if there was a hand in the center of the back, behind the heart, giving you a nice little nudge and opening. Release the arms now. Let's take them back behind us, big open arms. And then lightly, backs of the hands on the knees, either up or down. Palms up for receptivity, down for more of a grounding. See if you can feel the elbows dropping towards the earth and the shoulders just softening. The ball releasing from the upper rim of the socket and creating the space. And then maybe you can feel in your mind's eye or see in the mind's eye the back of your skull aligned with your sacrum. Supported, that back body held up. Take a moment now, invite your breath. Remember, this is invitational breath. This is your yogic breath. This is the thread through our practice. Different than the breath that keeps us alive. It's our conscious breath. Find it today. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth through pursed lips. Or find a way that feels better for you. Inhaling through the nose warms, hydrates, and purifies that air, that prana, that life force as we invite it in. Feel it as it comes in through the nose and down into the windpipe and down into your lungs. Deep down into those lungs, nourishing our system, bringing in all the oxygen and nutrients for our cells down to the deepest levels. And as you exhale, breathe out through that pursed-lipped mouth and hear and feel the exhaust as it leaves your body. In that exhaust, all of the physiological and mental debris we no longer need. Our brains are smart. See if you can let go of some of the junk that's been hanging around in the body, and maybe today more even in the mind. See if you can clear out some of those old tapes. Let's sit for a minute or two around the world. Envision, I say this in class sometimes back when we used to meet, imagine all the yogis around the world practicing. Well, here we are. We're reunited by our Zoom and connected through the ether. Let's find our breath for a minute here. See if we can unite. Continue with your breaths, 2 more breaths. Long, slow, deep, intentional breath, long on the exhale, triggering the relaxation response in our body, the calming of our minds, preparing us for practice. Before you open your eyes, take your thumbs and cross them like bird wings, place them right on your heart, the center of the chest, the heart chakra. It's your passion center. Feel your heartbeat inside your chest. Our heartbeat pumping our blood, our prana, our life force through us, keeping us alive, healthy, vibrant. Maybe the warmth of the green colored light in the palms as we feel the external manifestation here. Stopping maybe for a moment here to feel your humanness. Blink your eyes open, look at the front of your mat, bring your gaze back up. Let's go ahead and take our arms straight up today. Look up at your hands. Feel the rooting of the sit bones. So we are placed on the earth, we've got a foundation. Rise up from that foundation. So maybe you feel the bottom of the rib cage pulling away from the top of the pelvis. Maybe you feel the ribs starting to separate a bit. Maybe you can feel the shoulder blades coming up your back. Reach the fingertips up to the sky. Draw those low ribs in again. Squeeze the elbows closer to the ears. Bring them back. Look up at the hands and take your thumbs back a little further. Open up from your upper back. Yeah. Put your elbows and ears together. Put your palms together. Index to the sky. Steeple hands. Little side winder here, right and left, opening the side of the waistline and the ribs. Keep the elbows real close to the ears and go ahead and bend the elbows today. So try not to let them come apart, but keep them close in. See if you can touch down in the center of your back. It's a really yummy stretch of lats and a thoracic spine mobilizer. Go ahead and straighten out the arms. We've done this prone. Here we are in a seated position, maintaining the curves. Beautiful. Take your hands now, push your palms together, inhale, and on your exhale, slowly lower down through main central. Touch your third eye, tip of your nose, lips, throat, back to your big heart. Thumbs on the heart lifts. Spin the hands to the floor, fingertips touch. Turn the hands so the palms are forward, palms forward, thumbs go backward. We find the external rotation in our shoulders, right? The ball in the socket, finding the ease and movement in that external position rather than the internal spiral that we're in during the day. So part of our practice here, especially therapeutics, is finding these end ranges away from where we're habitually placed and finding the end range of the joint. Nice. Take your hands across from your hips now. Press your fingertips into the ground, your sit bones into the ground, and feel the rise of the crown of the head. It's a violet light that emanates from the crown of the head. Let's release our neck. Inhale. On your exhale, right hand will hold the floor and bow into it. Let the left ear release towards that left shoulder. We know we're not pulling with the musculature, but we're letting the weight of our head and gravity do most of the work. Let's use the opposite muscles today to try to help to soften in. So inhale, and on your exhale, there's an imaginary string from your right ear. Draw that ear up towards the sky. The right side of the neck musculature will contract. And then when we release it, let it go, the contraction follows by relaxation. And maybe you get a little softer. Nice. Inhale your head back up through center, and on the exhale, switch. Hold the left hand down, that's the anchor. From that anchor, we've got a stretch of the muscle. Just to drive that point home, if you let your left hand come up, you can see you lose the stretch. So hold the left hand down, weight of the head and gravity doing its work. Inhale. On the exhale, take the left ear up towards the sky. Hold that for a moment. Muscles will contract, release, and let the right ear soften towards the right shoulder. Right side bend. Nice. Inhale up through center. Exhale, make a left hand turn. Chin stays on horizon line. Keep it on the horizon line, and again, don't force it, but see if you can carve out your pathway. Maybe do a little flexion extension of the chin, so bowing and raising, and see if maybe you can find the path. Inhale back through center, and on the exhale, right hand turn. Chin on horizon, take it around. Keep it on the horizon. Do a little flex, an extension with your neck, and carve out your pathway. Inhale back through center, exhale around to the left. Maybe you can feel it's cleaner now. The second mowing through, inhale. And on the exhale, the right hand will hold the ground. Bring the chin out towards or to the left shoulder point. Inhale the head back up through center, exhale around to the right. Inhale, exhale, bring the chin out towards or to right shoulder point. Just accentuating stretch left side of the neck. Inhale back through center, and we slowly lower our chin to the jugular notch between the two collarbones. It's all flexion of the cervical spine, 7 vertebrae in your neck. Try not to let your chest cave in. Let's carve out more path here. Inhale. On the exhale, trace the chin along the line of the right collarbone. Keeping it on the collarbone keeps it safe. And when your chin starts to come off the collarbone, stop there. Otherwise, keep tracing around till your collarbone meets your shoulder blade. Inhale back through center, and on the exhale, around to the left. Keep it nice and tight. And see if you can explore your range. Trying to find all these different spots in our body, helping in the grand scheme of things, bring it back through center on the inhale. And on the exhale, start to lift the head. The grand scheme of things of moving from all of our spots. Let's extend now. Inhale. Exhale, press the fingers and sit bones into the ground. Rise up, feel the length of the spine. Push the heart forward, and slowly see if you can find that extension, back bend, from the center of the back all the way up to the head. So don't let the head just drop back, but we lower back and find the opening from chin to collarbones and all that movement in our cervical spine. Lots of movement and extension. Beautiful. Inhale your head back up. Start position. Shut your eyes for a moment. Where's your mind? Where's your body? Where's your breath? You're sitting in half lotus. Switch legs to uncommon cross. Let's go ahead and take our arms up. We'll floss our nerves. Many of you have asked for this now. Nerve flossing, just to remind you, nerves don't stretch. We pull them through the connective tissues. They get stuck from our habitual positions. So stretch your arms out really long. Take your shoulders up to your ears and then drop them. Try not to overuse your upper traps. Look at your right hand. Pull it to your face and spread your fingers. See as much space between your fingers as possible. And push your hand into an imaginary cinder block. That'll get that nerve to start flossing already. Turn your gaze over the middle finger of your left hand like a warrior two gaze. Inhale, and on your exhale, take your right hand back behind you, leading with the little finger, keeping it pushed against that cinder block, and see if you can inspire that release all the way from the back of your right ear down to your fingertips. Bring the head back to neutral. Arms are supposed to get tired. Let them fatigue here. Try not to bring the shoulders up. Look at the left hand, pull it to your face. Open the fingers, see as much space between, push it into the cinder block. Inhale, and on your exhale, turn your gaze on middle finger right hand. Go ahead and take lefty back behind you now. Lead with the little finger. See if you can find that comfortable sensation buzz, freeing the nerves, not letting them get trapped in the tissues. Nice, guys. Bring them back to neutral now. And let's go ahead and flap our wings. We'll get to the other nerves. So these are our controlled flaps, right? 2 pterodactyls here. I can see David behind me. Let's go ahead and touch and bring them up. Nice and light and airy arms. So they're not big, heavy arms, but free. Okay, let's change our pterodactyls to eagles now. Right will go on top, left will go on bottom. See if you can get the fingers of the left hand to touch the palm of the right, and if that doesn't work, just keep them pressed to the back. Press that flesh parallel to the floor, press the sit bones into the ground. Find your tall sit. Inhale. On the exhale, push the right elbow into the left elbow, and just draw the shoulder blades forward. It's called protraction, right? Again, all the different moving parts. Pulling the blades forward, finding that space on the rib cage. Now let's go ahead and flex the hips. That just means that you're going to bring your whole torso forward, still keep the same spinal position, just flex at the hips. So we got to use our abdominals here and our back extensors to help to control the movement. Pause for a moment there, and then draw it back and back up. Inhale. On your exhale, keep the triceps parallel to the floor and shift them to the right. So it's a really great stretch of the posterior rotator cuff on the left there, mobilizing both of our shoulder sockets and balls and sockets. Inhale back through center, you're looking at your arms, and on the exhale, do the opposite side now. So a really yummy stretch, front of the right now, our anterior deltoids and some of the cuff. Come on back to center, we're not done yet. Inhale, and on the exhale, start to bring the elbows towards the belly button. Don't move the spine yet, so get the stretch of the shoulder girdle, and then flex your spine. And see if maybe you can touch your elbow to your belly button or to your belly. Inhale back up. And here's the best part now. On the exhale, pull the low ribs in and start to bring the elbow points to the sky. So we're not going into our low back so far. If you keep your low ribs in, look what you can do here, opening that thoracic spine. Start to look up a little bit, right between the shoulder blades, right? Yeah, bring it back to neutral, lots of work. Let's go ahead and release the arms down. Take a rest for a moment, and then bring them up the opposite. Left goes on top this time, right on bottom. Maybe it will be completely different. I love this series now, so good for our shoulders. Tricep flesh parallel to the floor, press the fingers to the palm, palm to fingers, inhale, and on your exhale, push lefty into righty, make it just move from the blades first. Then start to hinge the hips, elbows still stay up, use the abdominals and back extensors, a guided Forward movement, beautiful. Pull it back up to neutral, ground in from the sit bones, open the big heart, inhaling on the exhale, right hand turn with the arms. So revisiting it now with a different arm on top. Inhale back through center, exhale left now. Inhale back through center. On the exhale, first start to bring the elbows down, get that posterior scapular stretch, and then start to flex the spine and see if you can touch your elbows to your belly. Inhale back up for the best part of it all. On the exhale, pull the lower ribs in. Initiate with the elbows first, bring it up, and then see if you can find that lost zone between our shoulder blades, de-round. I know many of you are in need of this, including myself, to keep us from rounding over. Nice work, guys. Bring them back to neutral. Release the arms down. Let's go right into cactus arms, flying machine arms. Inhale, exhale, push them together, take them up. Great shoulder work today. Pull them apart. Elbows slowly come down through the thick fluid, resetting the posterior blades. Take them back up again. Our posterior musculature and shoulder blades. Elbows into side pockets. Last time. Back up through it. And elbows down. Let's do our light bulb hands. Big free palms here. Pronating, supinating the forearms again, taking care of our arms. Up into the queen wave, and up into your hallelujah arms, and back down, right into the nerve floss for median nerve. Take your thumb and index okay signs, turn them up, turn them down, turn them up, turn them down. Let's bring them up to the Birdman mask now, so turn the hands, elbows pull back, open up, bring them back down again. Okay, 2 times. Birdman mask, bring them back up, encircle the eyes, pull the elbows apart. Good. Bring them back down, shake them out. Okay, this time, bring your arms up, and let's go ahead and turn the bicep up, and then bring the hand up, and then bring the hand down. Keep it down, turn the gaze over middle finger, left hand now, and take your thumb back behind you. So very similar at the start, but different nerve. Bring the hand back around again, left arm, turn it up, flex the wrist up, flex the wrist down, keep it down, turn the gaze middle finger, right hand, and take the left thumb back. Beautiful. Bring it back to neutral. Let's do our side bend. You guys know, grab a block, you might need it. Put it off to the right side for your elbow. Left hand will hold the left hip down, ground down through that. Right hand out to the side. Inhale. On your exhale, start to bend the right elbow, maybe just 1/4 of your distance. Check in that the left sit bone is staying down. Bend the right elbow. Left sit bone stays down. Continue bending right elbow, left sit bone down. And if your elbow can come to the ground, then beautiful. And if not, that's what your block's for. Try not to let left hip come up. Explore this waistband here, the shirt coming out of the waistband, opening up nice and long. Put your thumb into your armpit today and go ahead and take the left elbow back behind you to look up. Keep that right hand and elbow very stable into the earth. Keep back bending. And then straighten the left arm up, grab the cloud off the sky, inhale, and on your exhale, come cross down. Feel that really beautiful release and sensation from the waistband up to the fingertips, reaching. Maybe let the right ear go to the right shoulder here now and really open up. Oh yeah. Inhale up, bring your block with you, maybe for the other side. Feels so good. Left hand onto the ground, right hand holds the thigh down. Inhale, and on your exhale, start to bend the left elbow. So we bend that left elbow, hold the right hip down, bend the left elbow, hold the right hip down. Make your way down to your customized position. Press the left hand and elbow into the ground. Find that beautiful stable left shoulder. Put the right thumb into the armpit and go ahead and roll that whole right shoulder back, look up. Inhale the right hand up, grab the cloud off the sky, come cross over. Watch the fingertips as they go over. Reaching, bringing a warm iron to the wrinkled fabric. Let the left ear release to the left shoulder. We're doing the same thing with our muscles and connective tissues here as we do with a warm iron on that shirt. Not creating new fibers, but just bringing them back. Inhale, back up to start. Bringing them back to their rightful position. Great start. Let's go ahead and open our hips and knees now. Push the blanket off to the side. Come onto all fours. You can see Lena here has totally crashed out. She's deep in her practice. Take your right foot back behind you. Curl the toes under. Push the heel to the back of the room. Hang out here for a minute. It feels so good just after sitting in flexion like that to really open it up. Draw the right knee forward. Take the left foot back. Curl the toes under. Push it back. Back of the left knee pushes to the sky. Crown forward. Take lefty forward. Push righty back again. Push it way back. And let's this time inhale the body weight forward over, shoulders over wrists onto the tips of the right toes, and then come onto the top of the right foot. So we find the whole articulation through our toes and through our ankle, right? Yeah, push it back again. Always feels so much more open on that second, third round. Let's do the same thing. Left foot, push it back. Heel back, inhale the body weight forward, come onto the tips of the toes, onto the top of the foot. Plant our flexed foot. Roll back, push the heel back. Articulate through each of the joints, right into our broken toe stretch. Knees together, inside ankle bones, in big toe knuckles touch. Come push back into your broken toe position. Modification or customization here. Put a block underneath the front of the knees if it's too much, or a blanket bolster underneath your buttocks. Try to rest into it. Go ahead and fish out the fourth and fifth toes that are probably all crunched up in there, and see if you can find the tip of each one of the toes close to the earth. Press your hands into the thighs, pull the low ribs in, find this big open heart. Reach back today, open. Interlace your hands back behind you. Push your palms together, see if you can keep the whole palmar surface together and the thumbs touching. Straighten the elbows out, inhale, and on the exhale, shoulder extension, thoracic extension. Pull the arms straight back behind you. You'll feel the stretch of your pectoral muscles, anterior deltoids, front of the shoulder, but really the work is T-spine opening, shoulder extension. Let's see if we can hinge forward from our hips now. So like a dipping bird. Don't change the spine. Keep the spine nice and long. Flex the hips, and as the hips come into flexion, the fists go higher to the sky. Such great, important work for that upper thoracic spine. Get some strength to those muscles. It's the opposite. Now let the fists come back down to the earth, and your body comes back to its tall position. Let's do the exact thing one more time. Inhale. On the exhale, take the arms straight back behind you. See if you can lower yourself down from the flexion of your hips. Spine stays real long. Come forward. Beautiful. We've forgotten about our feet at this point, right? Take your hands now behind your neck and interlace your fingers.
The feet is frozen. You're back.
Okay, guys, I think we're back now. I'm sorry. Certainly not my intention. We have terrible weather here, and I've got a satellite connection. So, anywho, we're back. All right. I think we cut out from this. Elbows back, elbows together, elbows back, elbows together. Release the hands to the ground. Release back now. Kick the feet out. Sit back. Big open heart. Take your hands back behind you. Fingers, thumbs towards little toes or the sides of your feet. See if you can lean back again from the opening from the upper back rather than too much in your low back. Keep that pulled in. Lean back. Pull the elbows close in towards each other. Inhale. On your exhale, look over your right shoulder. Inhale back through center. On the exhale, look over your left shoulder. Inhale back through center. Use your abdominals to pull forward. We're going to launch our decelerating child slowly back down to the earth. See if you can touch your forehead very slowly down. As soon as it touches the ground or a prop, pull the belly in. Start to use the back and the abs together to bring yourself back up. Shoulders up over. Hands back to the earth. Lean back into it. Inhale. On the exhale, bend the right elbow. Look over the right shoulder. Inhale back through center. Then the left elbow, look over the left shoulder. Inhale back through center. Exhale, launch the decelerating child back towards the earth. Slowly touching down, forehead. Inhale back up, belly pulls in. Exhale, lean back, thumbs to the earth, knees together. Push the tops of the feet into the earth and lift the hips off the ground. See if you can push the front of your pelvis to the sky. So not a big back arch, low ribs held in, pelvis pushed up towards the heavens. Slowly release sit bones back down to the earth. They'll come outside the heels. Inhale the body weight forward. Slowly decelerate the child to the earth. Strengthen your core and beautiful cat-cows through. Pull back up again, inhaling. Exhaling, lean back. And this time, come on the tops of the feet. Take the shins off the ground. See if you can find that big stretch, plantar flexion of your ankles. Good. Shins go back down onto the earth. Knees come wide. And we're going to walk out. So keep your sit bones pushed back. So take your hands to the earth and push your sit bones back. Try to keep the pelvis as your anchor. So as we start to walk the hands forward now, don't let the pelvis come up if possible. Walk the hands out. Take them to the front of your mat. Your arms will become down dog arms. Look at them. They're going to stretch way out there. Index finger forward, thumbs towards each other. Take an imaginary marble under your index and roll it towards your thumb and find the grounding of the hands. Change your down dog arms now to Sphinx arms. See if you can let the elbows release to the ground without the sit bones coming up. Then the forehead will release down to the earth. See if you can rest in wide child, surrendering the belly, the heart towards the ground. Shift your pelvis to the right and to the left. It's deep hip flexion here, so we're mobilizing the hip sockets. If it's pinchy, please back off. Bring the pelvis back to neutral. Inhale up through scared cat, so big rounded back. Knees, feet apart. Inhale, body weight forward. And on the exhale, slowly lower your cobra towards the earth. So the reverse of what we just did. flexion, now extension. Press the hands into the earth. Feel the shoulder blades as they naturally release down the back, and shine your heart forward. The neck is so free. So not a lot of work of your neck, soft neck. Instead, see if you can concentrate again, center of the back, behind the heart, pushing forward and surrender the abdominal wall there. Get a nice stretch. If it's pinchy to your low back, slide a block underneath your pelvis, your pubic bone. Bend your elbows now, keep them close into your body line, and see if you can get your pelvis onto the earth. Inhale back up through the scared cat, big rounded spine. Knees go wide, big toes touch. Push back, wide child. Way back you go. Do your down dog arms, your Sphinx arms, your forehead to the earth. Shift the pelvis right, shift it left, right, left. Back to neutral. Inhale back up, scared cat. Exhale, body weight comes forward. We hang our cobra. Hands press the earth on the opening through the heart. Inhale. Exhale, look over the right shoulder, look back behind you. Inhale back through center, look over the left shoulder, look behind you. Inhale back through center. Exhale, look up. Inhale back through center, bend the elbows, put the pelvis onto the earth. Slide back right into Sphinx pose. Elbows underneath, shoulders, palms real wide, fingers pressed down onto the earth. Curl your toes under. Inhale. On the exhale, bump your body weight forward so your chest shines through the fronts of your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, push the hands and elbows into the earth and pull the heart towards the front of your mat. Your gaze is at your thumbs. Right through that middle thoracic spine again. We'll build some heat through our plank and dolphin. I'll guide you through this. So from Sphinx, we'll move into forearm plank. Release the pull of the elbows. Curl the toes under. Bump the body back. Take the legs together and take your palms together. Something new today. So like I said, beginner's mind. I've taught you guys a lot about pressing the palms together to fire up the rotator cuff. Today, take your hands, interlace your fingers, and before we come into plank, try to pull the fingers apart, right, and pull the elbows towards each other like you're squeezing a block in there. Let's practice that a few times. Go back to pressing palms together, the adductors fire to help to stabilize, and then interlace the fingers. Try to pull the hands apart as you pull the elbows together. The abductors fire to help to stabilize. Good. Let's go back to palm press again. Inhale. Exhale. Press the palms together. Push the elbows into the earth. Fire up the baguettes under the armpits for stability in your shoulders. And come onto your knees. Pull the belly up. Try to stay in a flat plank position as best as possible. Straighten the right leg. Straighten the left leg. Squeeze an imaginary marble between your butt cheeks and try not to be in a jackknife or your belly too close to the earth, but in this plank pose. The best cue I have for this whole thing is to push your heels back. Push your heels back and feel how it enlivens that whole back body. Bring on some fire. See if you can find your bellies here. And we'll move from forearm plank into dolphin. Inhale. On your exhale, bend your knees and start to move your nose towards your elbows, and then walk your feet forward. So as the feet start to walk towards the elbows, the nose moves back towards the knees, so the ears go between the elbows and your head hangs like a pendulum. Knees are bent. Inhale. On the exhale, keep the left knee bent and straighten the right leg. Push the heel towards the earth. Don't change the shape of your spine if possible. Inhale, opposite, right bends, left pushes back. Do that a few times. Don't forget about your hands and your elbows. The upper body stays in its same position. Come to your resting place for a moment in your dolphin. Look forward to the hands now as you walk your feet back into forearm plank. Let's change the hands now. Interlace the fingers. Rather than pushing, pull the hands apart and squeeze the elbows together. So another way, yet another way of trying to strengthen our rotator cuff. Beautiful. Back to flat palms, knees down, belly down. Bring on the sweat, right? Elbows underneath the shoulders, hands forward, back into Sphinx. Inhale. On the exhale, curl the toes under, bump the body forward, back into Sphinx. I know some of you are probably thinking, I wish this thing would cut out again as we're going through this. Inhale. On the exhale, press the hands and elbows into the earth, draw the heart forward. I hope you can feel what I feel, this middle back of mine all warmed up and ready to release. Release that, bump yourself back. Let's go back into our forearm plank, palms together. Inhale, exhale, push them together. Push the elbows into the earth, fire up the baguettes, come onto your knees. Pull up your belly, use your core strength. Push the right heel back, left heel back. Squeeze the imaginary marble between the butt cheeks. Push the heels back, crown forward. Be so stable. Play around with the hands, interlace the fingers now. Try to pull them apart while the elbows come together. Weak rotator cuff, help to strengthen. Beautiful, guys. Come on back. Press the hands, move back into your dolphin. Almost done. Let the head dangle through. Keep the knees bent if your hammies are tight. Straighten them out if your hammies can tolerate and still have an arch in your low back. Play around with your dolphin for a moment, flipper style. Figure out what's good for you. Elegantly, they walk back into forearm plank. Let's interlace the fingers again. Try to pull them apart. Elbows pull together. If you have sore shoulders tomorrow, you'll know why. Push the heels back, knees down, belly down. Once you rest on your bellies for a moment, you put your forehead on your pillow arms. Shake your pelvis side to side. Feel the heartbeat, feel the respiration. Good, let's push up to all fours. We'll come into modified gait. Haven't done this one in a while. Let's take the right leg out to the side. You're up on your heel. And left knee is directly underneath your hip, or close to it. So toes up, right foot, slide it out a bit, and be sure your pelvis is straight forward. Put your right hand now onto the top of your right hip. The idea here is we're going to push down. Maybe notice as you push down, your hamstring gets a stretch and your hip joint becomes congruent. Inhale the left hand straight up to the sky. Reach up. Exhale, touch the sky with your fingertips. Let's make it a slide now. Right hand will slide down the leg as the left arm comes over the crown of your head. Inhale. On the exhale, slide into gait. So we've prepped you. Lots of side opening, right? Keep the toes up on this one and reach out. Try not to let the chest come forward. We stay in an open position. Reach out. Maybe look up towards the fingers if your balance is there. Bring it back. Look into the left armpit. Inhale up on a slide. Exhale, left hand down. We'll add the foot to it on the second round. Inhale, left hand up. Exhale, start to slide. So the right foot now is going to plant our flex. We just prepped it towards the earth. See if you can touch the ground with the top of your right foot and slide through. Roll forward now a little bit. Touch the earth with the left hand and then roll back to your start position. Touch the sky with the fingertips. Left hand will come over now. Reach way out. See if you can keep the right foot approximating towards the earth. Beautiful. Inhale back up. Neutral. Try to keep a stable core as we switch legs other side without wobbling all over the place. Right knee directly underneath hip. Left foot out, toes are up. Left hand goes on top of left hip, push down. As you push the left hip down, you can feel the rise in the crown of the head. Inhale the right hand out. Exhale, touch the sky with those fingertips. Let's slide. Toes stay up on this one. Inhale. Exhale, left hand will slide down the leg, come into your side bend. Again, we've explored our side bodies a bunch already. See if you can find this opening. Maybe look up at the thumb if that's part of your ability without getting too wobbly. Back to neutral. Inhale to slide back up. Take the right hand down. Let's add the foot this time. Inhale, right hand up. Exhale, let the left foot plant or flex towards the earth and start your slide. Left hand slides down the leg, right arm will slowly come across the body. Maybe look into the armpit. Let's take the right hand up, circle around the front, bring it back up again and see if it's a little more open with that. Good. Bring your hand down, slide left hand back up, and let's move into a lunge. So take the right foot forward on the mat. Foot is in front of knee, left foot behind. Put your hands on your pelvis. See if you can find a neutral pelvis. So push it posteriorly, push it too far anteriorly, and then see if you can find neutral. Pull the low ribs in, pull the low belly in. Inhale. On the exhale, top of the left foot is your anchor. Has to be anchored down so that when you start to draw the right knee forward, we don't just go into banana back, but it's more the stretch of the opening of the front of the left hip. Draw it forward. Pause here. See if you can feel that nuance. Left foot presses so the front of the left hip gets the stretch, not loading up your low back. Pull the low ribs in. Inhale the left hand straight up to the sky. If your balance is there, watch the left hand as it goes back behind you a bit. Back to neutral, left hand on hip. Pull yourself back up, you're balanced on your left knee. Core stays engaged, we switch legs, right goes back, left comes forward. Left foot forward of knee, inhale. Exhale. Right foot presses, start to draw the left knee forward. The tension or stretch is hip flexor complex down the front of the right hip here now. Keep that awareness, try to direct the energies towards the opening of the front of the hip. Inhale the right arm up. Reach up first. And on the exhale, if you've got the balance, find the thumb with your gaze and take it back behind you. We're bending from our upper backs mostly. Inhale back to start. Exhale onto right knee again. Switch your legs back opposite side, left back, right forward. Let's add a few components. Inhale. Exhale, top of left foot presses the earth. Draw the right knee forward. It comes over the right ankle. Inhale the left hand up. Exhale, take it back behind you. Inhale, take it forward like you're going to shake somebody's hand. We know we're not going to round our spine. We're going to flex from our hip on the right, extend on the left as you reach out, reach way out. Take the left elbow on the outside of the right knee now and take your palms and push them together. See if you can put your thumbs onto your heart, not under your right shoulder, and take the archer's elbow straight up to the sky. Inhale. On your exhale, push the left elbow into the right knee and find that rotation. Inhale back through center. Exhale onto the left knee. Pull in the core. Switch-o, change-o, opposite side. Inhale. Exhale, right foot presses the earth, draw the left knee forward. We feel the beautiful stretch in the front of the right hip. Draw the low belly in. Inhale that right hand up, take it back behind you. Exhale, come forward. You know to flex from the hip on the left, extend on the right. Reach out. See if you can take the right elbow outside the left knee now. Take your palms, put them together. Try to put them on your heart rather than your shoulder. Take the left elbow up. Inhale. On the exhale, use the right elbow as your impetus for rotation. Take it around. Draw it back through center. Come onto the right knee. Let's move into modified camel. Take lefty back. Come onto the tops of the toes there, onto the balls of the feet. Look down. Your pelvis ideally is pushed against an imaginary wall. So as we move into back bend, try not to just come from our low backs, but more from the upper back. Take your hands onto the upper buttocks, low back. Elbows are in nice and tight. Inhale. On your exhale, push your hands down to support the back. Draw the elbows in, open the big heart. Start to lean back from the prep work we've done in our hip flexors and quads. Maybe you'll take your hands back to your heels, maybe nowhere near any of that. Keep your elbows in, keep the low ribs in. Back bend that upper back, slowly let your head release back. Inhale back up. Exhale, down onto the tops of the feet for Tadasana. Okay guys, let's stand up. Let's do our forward folding with our blocks, our Pez candy dispensers. So grab your blocks, come stand up. Just hold the block for a moment and go into your Tadasana. Big toes touch. Heels are slightly apart. Lift and fan the toes, put them down. Cuboid bones press into the earth. Many of you have practiced with me. You know all of these cues. Quads contract. Push those quads or femurs back a bit. Push the pelvis. Tailbone straight down to the earth. Ribs pull in. Heart nice and tall. Big open body. We return to Tadasana. So just take your legs apart a little bit now and take the block and put it up high into the groin. So the block is going to teach your muscles how to work to safely take us up and down from the earth. Okay. Put your hands in your low bellies. Inhale, and on the exhale, squeeze that block, and maybe you can feel some of that musculature working. We'll do only a quarter of the range, then half, then 3/4. I believe many of you have done this with me. Okay, Tadasana legs. Hands on the pelvis. Let's get all our pieces where they're supposed to go. We're going to back bend first. Inhale. On the exhale, push the feet down, squeeze the block, and push it forward like a candy dispenser. And then bring the back, low back, into a little bit of extension, and then feel it as it comes up into your upper back. I'm just going to turn to the side a little bit here so you can see it's not all pushing the hips forward. It's not at all. It's opening through T-spine. Hang out for a moment there. Inhale. On the exhale, squeeze the block. Use your hands to tilt the pelvis forward and to anteriorly tilt, and send the block back behind you now and start to hinge your hips. So no rounding of the spine, it's from the hinging of the hips. And you know we've just done a bunch of this. Inhale back through center. Exhale, squeeze the block, push it forward. Move the pelvis back into posterior and come up through maybe low ribs up behind the heart and see if you can find that extension. Remember your hanging cobra maybe 20 minutes ago. Inhale, exhale, come forward, squeeze the block, anteriorly tilt the pelvis, and come halfway down. Maybe to your 90 degrees of hip flexion. Feet are ground to the earth, crown of the head lengthening way out. We've got all the curves in our spine. Inhale back up, squeeze the block. On the exhale, take it forward. Take the pelvis into posterior tilt, reach way back, bring it up now past the heart, maybe up to where your neck meets that mid-back, and pause there. Inhale back forward, exhale 3/4 of the way down, tilt the pelvis anteriorly, flex the hips, keep the arch in the low back, and bring it up through the rib cage. Maybe you'll slide your hands down your thighs now, maybe mid-thigh, maybe ankles. And then let the crown of the head go. All that back body getting a big stretch. Keep your Tadasana awareness. Inhale back up, slide the hands up. Exhale, squeeze the block, push it forward, put your hands back on your pelvis, posteriorly tilt it. Find Tadasana, grow out of it. We've got these beautiful stable legs. Not too much in the low back, take it in your T-spine. And now up into the neck, and if possible, let the head release back. There's your extension, your full extension. Inhale back through center. Exhale, squeeze the block. Anteriorly tilt the pelvis. Decelerate on the way down. Part of this is using our hamstrings to decelerate our bodies down to the earth. Come on down to your forward fold. Maybe your belly touches your thighs, your heart close to your knees. Your hands release to the earth, so some blocks. Maybe your knees are slightly bent. Let the crown of the head go. Explore the back body. Where is the hold? Inhale yourself back up again. Exhale, come to Tadasana. Okay, take your blocks out now. Your mind still thinks that they're in there, and go through your rendition of forward back bending now, maybe 5 or 6 rounds. So just a few suggestions. Maybe you'll come through with your hands and then do a swan dive. Maybe you'll have them in your armpits, whatever feels right for you. So go into your rendition of forward and back bending. Let's do maybe 4, 5, 6 rounds. Be sure to marry the breath with the movement. The breath will guide you through. This is not so much looking up at what I'm doing, but more getting into what your body requires and wants to do. Let's meet back up in our standing position. We'll move into chair pose, a beautiful complement to what we've just done. So find your Tadasana legs, press the feet into the earth. We grow our long bodies. Inhale the arms up. Keep them up here. Pull the low ribs in and back bend from your upper back so you're looking back at your thumbs. We started with this. Inhale. On the exhale, we're the Vermont ski jumpers. Watch your arms as they come to your side. They'll scrape the side and then the floor. Sit your buttocks back. Pause for a moment here. Keep your Tadasana feet. Now take the arms way back behind you. We're going to come into pose by our T-spines, right? Take your ribs off your thighs, shine your heart forward, and take your elbows very slowly by your ears. If the elbows don't come by the ears, don't force the shoulders, but instead open your upper back a little bit more, and you'll see your shoulders will come up a bit more. Press into the earth on the inhale, come stand up real tall. On the exhale, back bend, upper T-spine. Inhale, exhale, go for your ski jumper again. Take them way back behind you, middle finger scrape the ground, elbows go back. Balance the weight evenly, balls of the feet and heels. Try to sit the buns back. Imaginary block squeeze between the knees. Take your heart up, ribs up. Really extend through that upper T-spine, and the elbows should fit closer by the ears. Inhale up, very tall position. Release your arms. Close your eyes for just a moment. Tadasana. Beautiful. Let's do a progression I haven't done with you guys in years now. I don't think I've done it virtually yet. It is a forward bend or Parsvottanasana. Okay, grab your block, put it at the front of the right side of your mat. Your right foot, your toes are just behind the block and inside of it. So my little toe is just parallel with the inside of the block. Take the left leg back behind you. We will square our hips on this. So your hip points, technically your pelvis, are shining forward. It's Tadasana again, my friends, just our legs are apart. So again, the point is if your legs aren't stable and you start to bend forward, you're going to wobble. So find your grounding first. The winds, the vayus, the grounding vayu. Pressing down, apana vayu. Take your hands under your pelvis. Inhale, and on the exhale, we just did it in forward fold. It's the same thing. Anteriorly tilting the pelvis, coming down from the flexion of your hips and the length of your hamstrings. Just put your right hand down onto that block, maybe 2 blocks, maybe 3. Take your left hand onto your sacrum, middle finger down towards the bottom of the sacrum. Maybe you'll notice as you push your hand in the sacrum, maybe look up for just a sec, grow the spine long from the grounding of the sacrum and the strength and length of those hamstrings. Pause here. Maybe take the left arm out in front of you if you feel like you've got the balance, just reach out. Inhale your
All right, so let's all switch sides. So take your block to your upper outer left side of the mat. Take your left foot just behind and to the right of it. And step the right foot back. Take your left hand onto the block. Right hand on the hip for now. Try and square off the hips to the front of the room. Inhale, reach the right arm forward. And bring the right hand back onto the right hip. Go ahead and look up and come forward. And let's just go ahead and come onto the ground. We're going to close up with our favorite open book and chalk trace to just round it out in our shoulders. So let's all come to lying on our right side. Hips, knees, and ankles at 90, 90, 90. Bring the palms together. I'm just laughing at how improv-y this is. Inhale, drag the left hand along the right arm. Rest with the hand on the heart. Look up towards the ceiling, lifting up with the left elbow. And exhale, open up the book. Try to rotate from the upper thoracic spine instead of the low back here. If it helps, grab your block and put it behind this SI. And if you knock over your block, it means you're rotating from your low back, and that's what you don't want to be rotating from. Inhale, grab the cloud off the sky, plant the left palm back onto the right, slide the left hand forward, protract the shoulder, and try not to cheat by rolling the whole body forward, but isolate the movement into the left shoulder blade. Inhale, re-slide the left hand along the right arm, resting at the heart, lifting up, feel the opening between the shoulder blades. And exhale, open it up. Maybe your shoulder blade, your left shoulder blade gets a little closer to the ground. Bend the right elbow, press it into the earth, and just wiggle the shoulder blades a little closer to the ground. Straighten out the right arm and reach out with both fingertips. Inhale, grab the cloud off the sky. I love when he says this. Plant the palms together and protract the shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Grab your proverbial piece of chalk And start to trace the circle over the head, following the fingertips with the gaze. And wherever your fingertips start to lift off the ground, go ahead and pause there. That's where the stretch is for you. And if you can, take your chalk trace all the way out to T-arms. Go ahead and bend the right arm again, push the right elbow into the earth, and nudge the left shoulder blade a little closer to the ground. Breathing here. Sometimes what I like to do is take the right hand and take it into the left hip crease and just gently coaxing that away to get more of this quadratus lumborum stretch right here. Okay, so grab your piece of chalk, go ahead and retrace your arc, landing back to palms together. Inhale, chalk trace up, gazing at your fingertips to T-arms. And exhale, bring it back to center. Go ahead and roll onto your other side and we'll repeat. Take the block with you. Oh, Harvey's back. All right, take it away, Harvey.
Oh my goodness, Tiffany, so fantastic. I'm telling you, it's terrible here, so that's why we keep get cutting out. Let's just go on to the other side. I think she was just on her right, so go on to your left side. So great, loved hearing your cues. Hips, knees, and ankles 90 degrees, palms touching, head on the ground. Use a prop if your head doesn't comfortably touch. Inhale. On your exhale, draw that hand up. Fingers over the biceps, coming to rest on the heart. Lift the elbow up towards the sky. Remember to keep the knees glued together. We're trying to get the movement to happen from the ribs up. Encourage that, seeing if you can find that sweep rotation. Bending the left elbow, inhale, exhale, push the left elbow into the ground, raise the heart, complete the rotation. Maybe try that a few times. Open up your arms in their T. Turn the gaze towards the right thumb. Inhale the right hand up. Grab the cloud off the sky, imprint, palm to palm, slide it through, protract. And just come through it one more time. Inhale, and on the exhale, start the movement, thread the needle, take it across. Maybe you can feel all the work we've done to open up. And close right into your chalk trace now. Inhale, on the exhale, keep the thumb and index on the ground, take it up overhead. You can follow your hand with your eyes, round the bend. As long as you keep your hand in contact with the ground, you can't go wrong. See if you can complete that full arc. Pause in your open position. Inhale, and on your exhale, take it back around again. Coming back to your start. Just like the last one more time. Should be a little cleaner inhale, and on your exhale, see if you can find the grace and elegance in the move. Take it around. Bring it back around, come to your start position. Let's roll it onto the back. Right into crazy legs, knees together, feet apart, arms out in the T. Inhale. On your exhale, let your left knee slide down the inside of the right shin. The legs will slowly lower towards the right. Remember, it's a controlled movement. We're strengthening the muscles as well as mobilizing the joints. Let it go the opposite way. Right knee sliding down inside of left shin. Left leg's not moving so much. Let those legs keep going back and forth. A slow windshield wiper on mist, and then we can add the arms. Thumbs go in the elbow crease as the legs go one way, the arms go the opposite way. Winding and unwinding, moving our food through us, getting the endocrine system involved, feeding all of the the glands. Let the head start to move now, same direction as the knees. Head and knees one way, arms the other way. Let the eyes go now in the same direction as the elbows while the knees and head go the opposite way. How slow can you do it? How slowly can you do it? See if you can eke out the spots. Nice. Let's return to neutral. Take the legs up to 90, 90, 90. Right leg goes over left for eagle legs. They're crossed at the knees. See if you can get your foot, right foot behind the left calf. Your heels go down and they're stretched long. Right leg will help to stretch left side body. Inhale, and on your exhale, use your right leg to draw the legs to the right. Not all that much movement. Again, up into the waistline, down into the side of your hip. Tensor fascia lata is the muscle. Bring it back. Let's inhale. On the exhale, roll the whole thing over. Left hand on the right knee, roll over on your right side. It's the combination of all of our poses, right? Right knee stays on the ground, head is resting. Left arm is out, right hand on the heart. It's open book. Inhale. On the exhale, lift the elbow, and we've just done it. Start to roll that heart around again. Different leg position, requiring the same of that T-spine. Maybe you'll use your left elbow again to lift and twist. See if you can luxuriate in your final stretch, twist pose. Grab the cloud off the sky imprint. Slide it forward. Roll the whole thing back onto your back. Uncross your legs. Cross them up opposite. Left will go on top this time. They're crossed at the knees. Foot goes behind calf. Legs are long. Use lefty to stretch righty. Inhale. On the exhale, left leg will draw the lower right leg towards the left. Start to unwind side body down into your hip. Bring it back to neutral. Let's roll it now. Inhale. Exhale, right hand outside left leg. Roll over on your right side. Knee goes down. Roll all the way over. Head on the earth. Left knee will stay down. Left hand is on the heart. Inhale on your exhale. Lift your left elbow. Take it up nice and tall. Roll through all that work you've just done to open that T-spine. Yeah, find the elegance and grace in the movement. Maybe use that right elbow to press into the ground and rotate. And see if you can maybe unfurl the flag. Try to keep the left knee down. Inhaling and exhaling, softening into it. Left hand reaches up, grabs the cloud off the sky, imprint, palm to palm, slide it through. Slide the hand back up, onto your back, uncross the legs. Straighten out your legs, send them down the bottom of the mat, and take your arms up over your head. Feel that amazing body all stretched out now. The advantageous position here for finding the breath, the rib cage circumference so huge. See if you can feel that breath as it comes in. Diaphragm lowers, creates more space for those lungs to inflate. Fill that body with fresh oxygen prana. Hold the breath for a second, and on the exhale, let it release. Feel the lungs recoil. Maybe use your abdominals to push the rest of the air out. Take your hands to your side now. Grab the side of your mat with your fists. Inhale. On the exhale, push your hands towards your feet. Your body will slide up the mat an inch or so into Shavasana. Cover yourself if you'd like. Maybe an eye bag. Touch the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth behind your teeth. It's a still calming point. Let the tongue release to the bottom of the mouth now. It's a soft mouth. It signals our brain we're in relaxation. No tugging, no teeth, no gripping, no grinding. Soft. Let yourself go off for a moment or two to a favorite spot. Perhaps you're in that favorite spot right now. Find the little marble on the back of your skull, the inium. It's the center of the skull. Let your head slowly rock side to side. You can begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, bring your physical bodies back around. When you're ready, you can bend your knees, slide your heels towards your buttocks. Keep your knees and ankles glued together and roll onto your side. Pause there and transition position. Slowly coming out of our asana practice, out of our breath, our pranayama. Sometimes this position inspires thoughts of generosity, of kindness, of altruism, seva. Notice your breath, ma'am. Notice your mind. Yoga has this amazing ability to transform us back into a quiet place, change our perspective. Inhale, and on your exhale, slowly draw yourself back up to seated place. Find your grounding. Find that wonderful sense of a root and a rise. Touch your fingers to the earth. Feel the length to the spines, all the work we've done to tend to our bodies. Draw the energy up from the earth into your heart center. See if you can raise the heart and pause. Finding ourselves to be so grateful for all we have. Inhale. On your exhale, let your hands float forward. Fingertips touch. Fingernails touch. Hands open like a lotus. From around the world, draw the energies in. This common like-mindedness, thumbs to heart. Take your thumbs to your third eye. Still contemplation point, all-seeing eye, ESP eye. Clarity spot. Let's bow to each other. Namaste. So sorry for the technical difficulties today, way beyond my cause. Thank you, Tiffany, for stepping right in and co-hosting there. I think I might owe you the other side at some point. I hope I will see you on Wednesday for our workshop Wednesday. I think I'm going to do something on foam rollers. It's one of my favorite tools. So people have asked, so I think I'm going to do a little workshop on foam rollers, why foam rollers, and how we can use them. Thanks so much for coming today. Really appreciate it. I'm going to hang out for a minute or two, hear your beautiful voices, and I'll see you on Wednesday and maybe. Thank you.
Thank you, Harvey.
Thank you, Harvey.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Harvey.
Thank you. Thank you, Harvey.
Recognize your voice, Joan. Oh, I can see a sweet dog.
Thank you, Harvey.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys. Hey, Christy. Thanks.
Thanks, Harvey. Hi, David.
Namaste.
Hey, Donna. Beautiful. Bellissimo. Bella donna.
Nona.
Swedish girls. Can you see the girls?
Thank you, Harvey.
My pleasure.
I love the baguettes.
Yeah, great. Deborah, so good to see you. Wonderful to see you.
I think of you every time I see any kind of French bread.
Marcy. Hey, Marcy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Harvey.
My pleasure.
Thanks, Harvey. Thanks for hanging in there on that technical stuff.
Yes.
So good.
Yes. Thank Miss Tiffany.
Yes, big shout out to Tiffany.
Thanks, Tiffany.
Indeed.
Thank you, Harvey.
Take
That
care.
was
See you
great.
next week.
Great job, Tiffany.
We never got to the other side in that Parsvottanasana, did we?
No. We did it at home.
You did it on your own. Of course you did.
Goodbye, everyone. Have a wonderful week.
You guys.
Bye.
Om Namah Shivaya Shanti.
Namaste.